The Feast of Tabernacles, the holiday of Sukkot, has both technical aspects to it as well as spiritual aspects. Let's explore the spiritual aspects of the Feast of Tabernacles. Shalom, my friends. This is Akiva Gersh with Israel in 5, where we give you everything Israel in 5 minutes. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, want to keep the conversation going, please do so below in the comments. The Festival of Sukkot, or the Feast of Tabernacles, has two main components to it. There is the Sukkah, the booth that we build and we live in and we dwell in and we eat in, and some people even sleep in during the 7 days of the festival of Sukkot. And there are the four species, the lulav and the etrog, and the aravot and the hadassim, as we call them in Hebrew, that we take together and we hold every single day of the festival of Sukkot, during the festival of Sukkot, except for Shabbat, and wave in all the different directions. What are the deeper meanings and hidden spiritual ideas in these rituals? Let's start with the Sukkah, right? After Rosh Hashanah and a whole week of looking inside and doing repentance, and Yom Kippur, a day of fasting and receiving the forgiveness from above, we don't start the year right away. We have one more festival, a 7-day festival, a week-long festival, before we officially jump into the new Jewish year. And that festival is really used to kind of internalize all of these great spiritual ideas that we came across, that we confronted, that we experienced during the first 10 days of the year, from Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur. Sometimes these days they zoom by so quickly that we might miss some of these ideas, or we experience it for a moment. But then if we jump right into the year and start going to work and do all these different things, we kind of miss the opportunity to really bring them into our lives. So on one level, we sit in the Sukkah. There's a little bit of a break, almost like a vacation of sorts, where we can just be and relax and be with family and be with friends, and allow these great ideas and spiritual epiphanies even that maybe we had during these first 10 days of the year to really come into our lives, to internalize and make them part of our new year. That's one idea with the Sukkah. The Sukkah is also meant to remind us that there's something beyond the physicality of this world. No matter how nice our houses are, no matter how big they are, right? We dwell in the Sukkah for the week because it's simple. It reminds us of the simplicity of life, that we don't really need so much, right? And when we're in the Sukkah, especially at nighttime, especially if you're sleeping in it, reminds us where our real protection comes from. Not from the four walls of our house, not from the big, strong roof above our heads, but really from something way beyond, right? From God. When we're in the Sukkah, these four simple little walls with some, tree branches on top, or palm branches here in Israel on top, we really recognize and we really feel and realize where our protection really comes from. I remember years ago in the city of Sderot, which for 20 years, right, was bombarded with rockets from Hamas and the Gaza Strip. I remember being there during Sukkot after many, many days of rockets, and you would think at that point the residents of Sderot would never want to live in a sukkah because you don't know what's going to happen. And yet I saw street after street after street many sukkot being built outside of people's homes, right? There's this real display of beautiful faith, right? And where our help comes from, as King David says, and where our protection comes from. Moving on to the four species, right? It's a beautiful, beautiful ritual. We take these four species as directed to us by the Torah, right? The lulav and the etrog, right? And the hadassim and the aravot. And we hold them together. We're commanded to hold them together, not just separately, but to take them together and wave them in the four directions as well as up and down. What's going on with this? Why do we have to do that? One idea is that the four different species that we hold represents four different parts of our body, right? Our spine, our heart, our eyes, and our lips, right? These are all essential parts of our body and our being and who we are in this world and how we express ourselves in the world. And we're meant to take all these different parts of ourselves, bring them together, hold them together, and unify them, unite them, right? To show that I'm going to use all of my strength and all of my abilities in my life, specifically in the service of God, right? Trying to do good and be good in this world. And it will take all of these aspects of myself in order to do so. Okay, another idea is that these four species represent four different kinds of people, right? From the greatest righteous person in the world to maybe someone a little bit quote unquote on a lower level, but we take them and we bring them all together as well to show that we're not a complete nation unless we have everyone together. That unity is our absolute strength. Now we see this in the Hebrew Bible over and over again in the book of Judges. Right? Only when the ancient Israelites unified again were they able to defeat their enemies. We see this in modern Israel as well. And we see this past year. The year before October 7th was the year of division and divide. Right? After October 7th, incredible unity. took place and has been taking place, still is taking place in the country, because we woke up and we realized that more than anything else is our strength and is our secret of our survival. So in Sukkot, really, we take these four species and we bring the nation together, we bring the different parts of ourselves together, and we shape them in the four directions, saying, wherever I go, whatever I do, wherever I may be, right, may I be blessed. Right? May I bring the unity of the nation into those places. May I bring my full self into these places. And we're also asking from above that this year be blessed. And that's another reason why we're shaking the four species in the four directions, as well as above and below, saying, God, please bless us wherever we go, whatever we do, the work of our hands, right? Excuse me, may it all be blessed. And may we see tremendous blessings from above come into this world down below in this year. Right, both for the Jewish people and the entire world, because that's really what we're praying for on Sukkot, is finally, era of peace, universal peace for all the people, for all of creation, for all the world. All the best, my friends, and be well.